Welcome to the Online Success Journey Podcast, your opportunity to discover and learn from entrepreneurs like yourself. This is not your typical podcast, but a place where you can get the real story and find out how real people encounter speed bumps and detours, but journey through to find success. Now here's your host for the Online Success Journey Podcast, Patience.
Hello everyone and welcome to Online Success Journey. This is episode 74. Are you ready to join the clan? Today we have Neil Berman, a speaker and author who is nearly 20 years in the soft industry. Delivra founder and the CEO Neil continues to be driven by a passion to find innovation solutions. Hello Neil.
Hello, Patience.
Hello. Okay, I know the clan here is anxious to hear your story, so let's get started with the basics. Can you tell my clan a little bit about your background, about what you did before you started your online business? Take us right up to the last job or business before you're online.
Be happy to, Patience. Prior to founding Delivra, which is a software company, I was an accountant, a CPA, licensed to do taxes and create financial statements. And in the year 1999, which 17 years ago, the internet came along, and I had a midlife career crisis. I decided, I want to do something different, for the next 20 years. So I jumped into the internet, and that's how it got started.
Okay. Why do you do what you do, Neil?
Well, interesting, how I landed on email marketing software. So I was brought up in the fax generation, and I wasn't really technical. I could use a spreadsheet, and that's about it. So I bought a computer, put it on my dining room table, plugged it into the wall, and started looking around the internet. Seeing what to do, and coincidentally, my wife was working for the post office, and she was very supportive because when you start a business, you don't make any money, so someone had to pay the bills. So, we used her income to cover things. But as I'm looking around, I remembered a former coworker telling me that if you want to start a business and if it meets these three criteria, you should go for it. And the criteria were faster, better, and cheaper. So one day I'm trying to figure out what to do, and it just kind of popped in my head that compared to postal mail, that it's certainly faster. Email is. It is cheaper, and it's more convenient. So based on the criteria and my wife's support and coincidentally her job, which I was hoping to put her out of business, that's kind of how it all gelled.
Wow. Okay. Right. Now you have been in business for a long time. You have came up with your new company called Delivra. So I think you started earning more money from then, since then. So let's put man aside. How do you know you are successful?
Well, when I started out, the company is capitalized with a total of $600. There's no partners. There's never been any debt. And I want to bring that up because there might be a lot of people listening and wondering what their life's journey is going to look like career-wise. And, I started with $600. That's, very modest, and just worked hard for years and years. And, now we're doing millions of dollars worth of business per year and sending billions, that's with a B, billions of emails on behalf of our clients.
Do you think anyone can become an entrepreneur, or some are just more cut out for it than others?
Well, that's a good point. In a sense, I wasn't going into business to get wealthy. I was going into business really for two different reasons. One, I wanted to do something that's interesting. I wanted to get up in the morning and be energized about going to work. And two, I wanted to do my own thing. I didn't want to have a boss. I'm overly independent. So I think if you're going to start a business and you're just looking to make money, you probably need to look beyond that to something that is more akin to what your inner personality is telling you.
What reassurance or encouragement have you got for my members of clan who are not quite there yet?
I'm going to leave you with a couple of words that I have pinned on my wall that helped me through the hard times and helped me through the good times as well. And one of those words is patience, and that's not a pun. And the other is determination. And what I mean by determination, you got to give it all every day and never give up, and have that vision that you can make it. And you're going to make some changes. You're going to pivot somewhat. You're not going to start out and end up in the same place, but you just keep on going, and nobody can hold you down. With regard to patience, you need to have a long-term vision. And, I talk to people that go into business, and they want to build it up and sell it out in 3 years. And, most businesses don't make it to 3 years. And my idea was, this is a 20-year gig. I'm just going to stick with it and make it work. So patience, determination, you'll prevail when most other people quit and move on.
Did you ever come across your mind when you are really trying to get this business up with your $600 and your wife funding all the bills? Did you ever think it was going to take off one day?
Well, I gave myself a year. And I said, and I was working for free, of course, out of the house, so there wasn't any rent. So I said, I'm going to give it a year, and if at the end of the year, I can't get some traction, I'll go back and be an accountant. And it was about 10 months into that year, and boy, nothing was happening, and I was getting a little discouraged. But fortunately, I was out making sales calls and trying to get people to sign up for my service, and I ran into a customer that was willing to pay me $5,000 a month, and that changed everything. So that gave me the ability to hire my first employee, and I never looked back.
Wow. Do you have a mentor in all these years you've been in your business?
A mentor like a coach?
Yes.
That's a big mistake of mine. I should take advice from people, but I'm way too stubborn. But more likely, what I do is I read all the time. I'm reading periodicals and business magazines, and how to do this and how to do that. So rather than a coach, I'm relying on some free information that I find on the internet.
What is the valuable information have we ever got out of those magazines that really made a big change to your business?
Well, I think, I don't know if there was any one, but I think the advice I'd gotten from one of my readings was manage your cash flow. And the way I implemented that is, so I didn't have any money. I couldn't hire software developers. And they're expensive. So, I went out and bought a $50 bulk email program to get started with. And when that ran out of gas, I went out and bought a $1,000 bulk email program, and then upgraded that to a $5,000. And then eventually, when I had enough business, I hired my developers, and we built out our own, homegrown software platform. So, there's stages, steps, milestones along the way. You just got to manage that cash, and even though most entrepreneurs have lots of ideas and lots of energy, being able to pay the bills is the limiting factor.
Okay. What is the most valuable thing you have ever given away?
Well, we give away software regularly to nonprofit and charitable organizations, and there's probably over 100 of those that we're currently supporting. We call it sponsorships. And, that's how our organization feels that we're giving back to the society that's supporting us.
Okay. What clients do you normally take on? Do you take on the new beginners, middle, or big companies?
So our customer base is small to mid-sized businesses. They're generally privately held. We don't appeal to public companies; they're way too big, and we don't appeal to necessarily the one-person businesses. They're probably a little bit too small. So we're the move-up solution for a business that's growing, and for a business that's has too many bells and whistles and too expensive a solution. We're the right-sized opportunity for them. So I think we're right in the middle with regard to the kind of customers that we appeal to.
Okay. Let's talk about your email marketing automation software. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, I'm really pretty excited about the automation piece. A lot of people have done email marketing for years now, but automation, which is automatically sending out emails, is rather novel, and it's new, and not as many people have adopted that. But really what automation means is that emails get sent automatically. You set it in, you forget it, and the response rates are really quite high. So let me give you an example of what automation could do, because it sounds kind of complicated, but it really isn't. So, I went on the internet recently looking to see what my car was worth. I was thinking of trading it in, and they asked me to give my email address to give me the information back, which I did, and then they emailed it to me. So, the website then gave my address to a local Ford dealer who sent me an email saying, "Hey, we understand you're looking to trade in your car. Here's some models you might be interested in." So I clicked on, the Ford pickup truck, and a couple days later, a brochure would come in the mail, and then a couple days after that, a salesperson would invite me in for a test drive. So the email, knowing what I clicked on, the mailing of the brochure, and the lead alert to the salesperson are all part of a drip campaign, part of automation that happens on a one-off basis. So that is really very powerful because you're talking to people when they have a buying intent. Does that make sense?
Okay, right. So who can use your software automation? I know previously you said you are not working with beginners, you are in the middle, but who can use your software?
Well, it's on the internet, so anybody can log in and use it. But generally, we're working with people that are in the marketing department, or they're the owners of a business, and their responsibility is to communicate with prospects and with customers. So the job title would be marketing manager, or digital something manager, or it could be someone that's in the design department that designs HTML templates, that sort of thing. So mid-sized businesses, profitable, non-profitable, government, education, that need to communicate with somebody.
Neil, I have seen it, like recently I went on the internet, I was searching something, and then I've seen lots of email marketing automation software out there. What is so unique about your software?
Well, yeah, there's plenty of competitors out there, both in automation and email. And I'm going to say that all of us are in the same space, but we tend to do things differently. And with Delivra, what's really different is you don't just get to buy our software. Along with that, for free, you get a coach. And you asked earlier, Patience, about a coach. And we feel if you're going to do marketing automation, you've never done it before, you need some help. So that's the difference here, is you don't just log in and read a white paper and try to figure it out for yourself. You're going to have someone on the other end of the line that's talking you through strategy, asking you about your business, and suggesting ways to implement automation that's going to work best for you. So I think the coaching piece is what I put my thumb on.
How long is this coaching process go? A year or 6 months, 3 months? How long is the coaching?
So the coaching is on demand, and it's as long as you're a customer, you get a coach.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Where do we find this fabulous software?
Well, if you go to Delivra.com, that's D as in dog, ELIV as in Victor, RA.com, you can download a free book about how to do email marketing. We also have a free trial if you'd like to dig in a little deeper and take a look at the platform. Again, all free, and you look forward to helping listeners do better marketing with email.
That's okay. So, clan, there will be more from Neil in a moment. If you are finding Neil's journey interesting and you are ready to hear more, come and listen to the full version of the interview at onlinesuccessjourney.com. If you are on an online success journey already, click on part of Neil's journey and you'll get more great tips to help you with your online marketing business. And don't forget you can access all other online interviews, podcasts on the site as well. So that's a wrap, clan. Remember, success is a journey. Patience and Neil.
This is not the end of the journey. We hope you've enjoyed listening to part 1 and want to be sure you know there is a second part to this and every journey podcast at onlinesuccessjourney.com, filled with even more success tips, uplifting stories, and even a bit of fun. There are dozens of episodes only available to the members of the Online Success Journey clan. Check out the website and click on Join the Clan for more information. Patience would like to thank you for listening to this podcast, and she has a free audio gift for you at her website. Go to onlinesuccessjourney.com for instant access to this gift. Of course, you know that listening to the journeys of others helps each of us chart our own path. So make sure you're subscribed to be notified as each new interview is posted. There are so many ways to stay connected to the online success journey and to listen in. And if you're enjoying the podcast, we appreciate your help in telling others. One of the best ways to share the benefit you get is to rate and review it at Stitcher and other sites by clicking the stars or completing the ratings form, by clicking thumbs up and leaving a comment on YouTube, or liking and sharing the podcast on social media. To review the podcast within iTunes, simply open iTunes to the podcast, click on Ratings and Reviews, then write a review. On behalf of Patience, and until next time, thanks once more for listening. It is our hope that this podcast will guide you on your own online success journey.